Welcome to the Cisco show, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't touch that remote. Got a great show. November the 11th, Veterans Day. I give a salute to all the veterans. And I'm so happy to have this show here today, have people come in from Delaware County that build a memorial for veterans. I mean, it's so much good of the community getting together. And I'm so happy that, this setting an example that every county, every city can do something for the veterans. Without them, baby, we ain't going to be around the way that things are today. So all we got to learn is bob and weave. So my friends here, come here, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to talk about this, how it started, and the work putting it together, and the unity of friendship, fellowship, and everybody donating for this thing. It's not, and the money didn't come from Washington, it didn't come from Harrisburg. It came from individual people. Now, I'll introduce you like I do in Madison Square Garden. In this corner, I won't say the wait. All right, tell them your name and what you do. All right, well, who you are.
Thank you, Hank. My name's Guy Fasano. I am the president of the Delaware County Veterans Memorial Association in Newtown Square. And that's the memorial that we built, the Delaware County Veterans Memorial. It's located in Newtown Square on Westchester Pike and Alice Grimm Boulevard. If you're familiar with the area, it's right across the street from the old Masters golf course.
Oh, all you golfers go there. But this is to be a great thing. We'll talk about that later. All right, tell me who you are and what you do.
My name is Barbara Zippy, and I do the public relations and some of the special events for the Delaware County Veterans Memorial.
And you're involved with this, and you're going to tell us more about what it's all about, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, your name and tell us what the story is.
Okay, I'm Barry A. Reese. I am the commander of VFW 7390 Broomall and one of the commanders of the Marple Combined Veterans Alliance, which does funerals in Delaware County.
Okay, that's a separate thing. We're going to talk about funerals, okay? We talk about life, but, funeral is dying with respect. Now, you're the president. You're the one that got this thing bobbing and weaving with all your friends, okay? Tell us about what this is all about.
Well, this is one of the paver bricks that's used for the floor of our memorial. I happen to be, besides the president of the Memorial Association, I happen to be president, owner of my family business, Fasano Brothers Concrete Products.
But this is good stuff, right?
Yes, this is concrete.
Yeah,
concrete paver blocks.
But it should have been a rock. No, because I say what it should be, but what I say, if you want to walk on water, you're gonna know where the rocks are. So if you want to walk on water, you're gonna know where the cement blocks are, right?
Exactly.
Okay, so go ahead.
Anyway, for the floor of our memorial, we have a buy a brick program whereby you can be a supporter, contributor to our memorial by purchasing one of these paver bricks. They measure 8 inches by 8 inches, and we will inscribe them for you. If you want to memorialize a veteran, a family member, your family name, or just put an inscription on there, you can do whatever you want. There are
an example here, like it says here, John Smith, United States Marine Corps, World War II. We love you, Dad. And you can put on there something. This is such a beautiful monument. I'm involved with the Columbus Monument in Northtown, and it's something different. But this has water. It has columns. Tell me something about them columns. When somebody an architect puts them together, this is for this is for that. Now, these columns, they mean something. What does it mean?
Exactly. Well, first of all, most of the memorial is clad in granite, expensive granite that came from Rhode Island, and it's a very expensive memorial in the fact that it cost $1.7 million to build this.
Wow.
Okay. And like you said before, no government funds were used here. This was all through private contributions.
Good.
All right. We're not fully financed as of yet, So we do have a sponsorship program. Besides the Buy a Brick program, we also have sponsorship opportunities ranging from $1,000 to $100,000, and you can get your name inscribed on the columns or larger pavers
Right.
or other
Right.
parts of the memorial.
Right across here. Right.
Yes. We have a website, and it's the DelCoVeteransMemorial.com, and you can find out about these different sponsorships, or also the brick order form, the Buy a Brick program, you can find on our website. But getting back to the columns, the backdrop of our memorial, which, by the way, was designed by an architect from Brookhaven, Pennsylvania, a fellow by the name of George Matuszewski, all done gratis, okay, pro
good.
bono, okay, very nice of the gentleman, because it's a big work of art. Anyway, he was the initial designer, and then during construction, another architectural firm by the name of Glenn Gauza Architects, they supervised the construction of the memorial. But the 9 columns that are the backdrop for the memorial, each one represents a major war or conflict that the United States participated in its battles over the year, from the early days of the Revolutionary and Civil Wars battles on up to today's Middle East
And
conflicts.
they have some names of some of the soldiers.
They actually have quotes from soldiers, presidents,
Oh, my God.
generals from that era, so that this will be an educational experience
Right.
for school children to come and have field trips to the memorial. And they,
Have you made any contact with schools?
oh yes, we have an outreach program that is going to start in the near future, whereby the schools do come to our memorial
Yeah.
during the daytime and have their field trip educational
You know, they
for them.
Veterans Day used to be Armistice Day. We'll talk about Armistice Day. I remember when I lived on Chestnut Street in Norristown, and Adam Scheit's Brewery, they 12 o'clock, they blow the horn for lunchtime, and then 4 o'clock everybody went home, and they would, and all mills and all everybody blow whistles and people shoot guns up in the air and all. At 12 o'clock, in respect for the Armistice Day. Now, you're involved in this as far as a very sentimental thing as far as burying, it's something. Now, you have a group of fellas here. Tell me about that.
Okay, this is the Marple Veterans Alliance. It includes
Here.
Smedley Butler Marine Corps League of Newtown Square, the American Legion 805 Marple Memorial Post Broomall, and the VFW 7390 of Broomall.
Well,
Back in the early 90s, we know that people are entitled to 2 people from their branch of service. They fold the flag, play taps, and they
Right.
walk away. We didn't feel that was enough. So from the middle of the 1990s to now, we've done over like 2,000 or 3,000 funerals, I think, by now. This is a picture in 2006 when we did 301 year. All these gentlemen are real heroes. The gentleman on the one side, he offloaded the atom bomb from the Indianapolis. We have Tom Werner, who was recently honored the Media Theater. He was a Merle's Marauder in the Second World War. And it's just amazing.
Well, let me-
We fold the flag, we shoot the rifles, put 3 shells.
Yeah,
and
tell
we do
me
the
about
poem
that
in
now.
Flanders Field.
This is something new to me because we had, I had my grandson's a policeman in West Norton. He's also a former Marine, and Mike. They were here and they folded the flag. It's a certain way of folding the
Right,
flag. Now,
13 fold.
but that was something new. You said they put the spent shells in the flag.
Yes, we have an honor guard of 7 rifles, fire 3 volleys. It's an honorary 21 gun salute, normally just for presidents. And we take 3 shine shells, place them in the folded flag, and give it to the deceased relative.
Boy, that's great. Now, all right. Now here's one
picture
here
of bugle blowing
where now
taps.
what happens? They play like
That's
taps.
Taps being played.
Taps. Go
Yes,
ahead.
That's taps, and that's done right after folding of the flag. And this is me receiving the 3 shells, and I will turn and give it to these people. It's a sort of
The-
unusual
the
funeral. It's
family. This
outside
is
the
family
church.
behind there.
Yeah, it's outside the church on the walk. It's what the family wanted, so that's how we did it.
Oh, okay. And tell me something about you. What you were in the Veteran Foreign War. Tell me something about it.
Well, I served in the U.S. Navy from 61 to 66. I was aboard the USS Borie DD-704.
Borie?
Borie, B-O-R-I-E. Does run to...
What was it, a cruiser? Or what was it?
That was just destroyer.
Destroyer.
And I took part in the Cuban blockade. We were off
yeah?
the coast when Kennedy came with his
You
speech.
getting that wine down there and the Cuban cigars?
Well, we didn't get that because we were in Guantanamo Bay for training. We came all the way back to Norfolk. They told us to get back on the ship, went down along the coast. We heard his speech. While we were down there, we spent 4 days and nights over a Russian sub, finally forced it to the surface. And then we also brought 23 troop ships through the Panama Canal Zone. And then they quit finally, and that was the end of that.
Well, what did you were on the destroyer? Did they have the landmines? Did you have landmines
Depth
that fill
charges,
out the
and we
side?
had something called veritable depth sonar. That's why our particular ship was called in, because we could get below the thermal barrier, and that sub couldn't get away with us, away from us, you know. So then later on, I got on the USS Springfield, which was the flagship of the Sixth Fleet. I spent 3 years in the south of France on that,
France.
right?
You see the go-go girls.
Well,
No?
Bill from the Nice and the Riviera was a lot of fun.
Over there, say a prayer. We're coming
Once they saw
over,
Paris,
and
they
it won't
sent
be
'em
over till it's over there. Ah,
Right, absolutely.
how's that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now Barbara.
Yes.
Come on. What are you doing here? What are you involved here?
Well, you know, this is a great community project, and it took a lot of people to come together, Hank, to make this happen. And actually, just to give you a little history on it, after 9/11, there was a developer in Delaware County who was affected by that 9/11 experience. And there was the developer's name is Claude de Baton, who donated this land from the request of the two founding members and the third founding member, which was Linda Holden, as a Newtown Township supervisor. And they didn't have a memorial to the fallen soldiers or to the war memorials in Newtown Square. And Linda Holden was approached by two members who are now deceased, Stan Short and Steve Neary, and they were with the Smedley Butler Detachment, and they went to Linda at the township and said, we needed a memorial. Linda got the township's approval of all the commissioners, and they went out looking for a home. And sure enough, this gentleman, Claude de Baton, and his family were willing to donate a piece of prime property on Westchester Pike. Thousands of cars pass this every day. You don't have to drive there. You just drive by it.
Right.
It's that visible from Route 3, a major highway.
I think, it's honor a veteran, honor a family member or friend, memorialize someone special, commemorate a special event, show your support to our military. I mean, that tells everything, but I can't think of a better gift where you can put a name of someone you love, and that served. It can be a Father's Day, it could be a Mother's Day, it could be
An anniversary.
birthday, an anniversary, a Veterans Day. And I'll tell you, here's an idea. Why don't you do this like on Veterans Day or whatever other days during the course of the year? Visit memorials throughout the country, throughout the state first. Start with the county, okay? I think it's another thing that the President's Museums. I think one of the most interesting museums was President Truman's, museum.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when he was president, he had more problems, and he settled more problems in that office than anybody. And one thing, he has a letter from the Japanese emperor, whatever, and in gold print and everything, and he looks at this, and it's in the frame, and he had to respond to it, and all he says, tell him to go to H, just like that, with this little handwriting, So I don't know. It's almost like a president like that that's there. He was only a captain, and he became commander in chief, right? of the United States. So I think he had a lot of problems too, because some of them guys were West Point guys. They didn't like him because he was a captain and all. But he had a lot of enthusiasm, and that's what counts when you got that, you know.
And you know,
and
Hank,
enthusiasm building something like this. I know it's but now's the time. You can still donate. Tell us how we can donate.
You know, I wanted to tell you, Hank, that those bricks only cost $100. That one paver. $100, and it has almost 6 lines. They can inscribe it with anything that they want.
Right.
And they'll get a frameable certificate that they can present to their family member as their
Right.
gift, and then they come and it
could
will
be a gift, right?
at the
Could be a Christmas.
memorial
Christmas is coming.
forever. It will be, once it's on the ground at the memorial, it will be there forever.
Do you realize it's Veterans Day comes before Thanksgiving and Christmas?
Well, you know,
And then Easter too.
and you know, the other thing that I wanted people to know, because your show is in Montgomery County and our memorial is in Delaware County, but it's for all veterans
yeah,
from any
definitely.
state. If you are in the area and you need and want a place to honor your loved one, you don't have to be from Delaware County to be at this memorial.
Right. And what I like, you showed me a photo at night. It's lit
Oh,
up.
it's beautiful.
You know, that means a lot, okay? So you have your name in lights. Some people want to go to Broadway and put their name, want to be on their name on lights. Well, you can go here, a loved one, your friend, your gumadi, your gumbadi, whoever. Put them all together.
Hank, the memorial.
Come on, now you tell me more about your experience.
Well,
How many times you get
experienced
shot
the
at?
monument, what impressed me, it was a day after the ceremonies. I had been in the hospital for 5 days. I didn't make it to but anyway, I sat there and I watched a man come up, and he sat on the bench in front. And though it's only a few feet from the highway and the noise of the highway, there was a tranquility there because the fountain's bubbling, and he was touching the name of a loved one. And then someone else had put a white rose in the fountain.
Oh my God,
So
yeah.
I've recently been to the Vietnam Wall and to the Korean Monument, and this is just as beautiful as anything you'll find in
Right,
Washington.
right. You know, I feel that people should go there just to see it, you know, and you'll appreciate it. And maybe, I don't know what county you're from, what town, but go to your council people and say, look, I think we should have some kind of memorial here in our town. And say, well, go to Delaware County and look and see what they did. Talk to Guy. He'll tell you how it started. How many people you had to beat up to get what you had to do?
Well, it
It's
started with
tough.
3 people, as Barbara said. It started with 3 main people: Steve Neary, Stan Short, and Linda Holden. And from them, it started multiplying out. I happen to be the 3rd president. The first president of the association was an attorney from Newtown Square by the name of Dave Vidian. The second president was my partner in business and cousin, Tony Fazana, who passed away back in 2010 from cancer. And then they asked me to take over for Tony, and I've been the president ever since.
Right.
We won't let him go though yet. He's got a term for a while.
Right.
I wanted to say that the memorial is accessible to the public 24/7, and as you said,
no kidding.
As you said, it's at nighttime. It is illuminated.
Yeah.
When you drive by in the car, like Barry was saying, it's very impressive to see how it's brightens up the area.
Right. And I think that is an educational feature, you know, with school children, you know.
And
if
if I could tell you a little bit about that education program, Hank, it's meant to be a living teaching memorial. We're working on a program for grades K through 12 that will have an in-school visit and a field trip to the memorial so that they could go through that memorial and learn what they're learning in school and actually see it, understand it, feel it. We actually also have 2 kiosks there that are computers, so that we have information on the computer. If you want to go find your loved one's brick and you don't know where to look, you punch your name of your loved one in that kiosk and it'll tell you where to find the brick at the memorial. And then it also At the fountain, where we have the eagle, which is the symbol of the United States, it has the Constitution printed on it.
Oh,
The
my
children
God,
actually
right.
can see the Constitution. There is over $375,000 alone of engraving at this memorial.
Oh, my
that
God, right.
was immense.
That's,
Big
you know,
undertaking.
and like I say, people from all over, every different counties should participate in this. Let me back to you. Were you drafted or you volunteered?
I volunteered.
You volunteered. I was drafted. You know that?
Okay.
I got drafted, and I went there with all my buddies. Went down there, and they got on a P&W and took us to Allentown on the trolley to Allentown to get examined. And on the way up there, in the back of the train, everybody got together. We're shooting crap, right? So we're shooting crap on the way to get examined. I won $14 on the way up. When I got there, they examined me. You know, I had perforated eardrums and my foot. You know, so they said, boom, 4F. You know, when you're 4F, you know, I mean, you know. You're going to go out with a girl, she'll say, oh, he's 4F. What the hell's wrong with him? I mean, pardon the expression, what the heck's wrong with him, you know? And so, but everything was all right. But then I started boxing, right? And I went in, I got in the finals in Philadelphia Daily News, you know? And I had a picture of the Daily News. Hank Cisco, sensation from Norristown. Draft board called me and says, well, is that you? Yeah. He says, well, if that's you, you can go in, you can fight in the ring, you can go fight there. Next thing you know, I'm on a train going down to Camp Wheeler, you know? So, and then, you know, but you went through. I didn't get the opportunity to go overseas. But what a feeling when you're heading over and they say, all right, we're going to go overseas. What was that feeling? Tell me.
Well, the Cuban thing was what really got on. First time we were down there, we were drilling constantly, and it's like almost 130 degrees in the fire room. And it says general quarters, this is a drill. They said general quarters. This is not a drill. Here a Russian ship was coming too near, and we had to go. And you know, your heart drops, and thing flanks out, and it's quite something.
Well, when you go from your camp to on a ship,
Right.
ship was crowded. Like I see sometime with the ships coming, all guys waving. They look like there were sardines in there.
Well, originally we were in a shipyard, and we got it rebuilt. It was a World War II destroyer. Got rebuilt from the decks up with aluminum and special new weapons, ASROC, helicopters.
But you were in the Navy.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of soldiers. Okay, all right, yeah. You know, I worked about 4 or 5 years down Sunship, building the ships. You know, and that was another experience.
We walked around with a welder, and he was. doing
Yeah,
all
I
kinds
did.
of
I
things.
was hooker on and hooking on to the, you know, putting on the ways, and then I took a test on welding. I did some welding overhead. Oh my God, that was great, you know. But now you're a businessman, right?
I'm a businessman. I'm a veteran also.
Tell me about you.
I was a first lieutenant, U.S. Army, Corps of Engineers, and I got stationed in Italy, of all places.
Hey, goodbody. Si wassanati.
I knew you would like that,
You know
eh?
that spaghetti over there? Huh?
Terrific.
Oh my
Food was
God.
terrific, yeah.
Coke and
So-
spaghetti, that's what you get.
What was that? The Army?
Yeah, I was in the U.S. Army, yes.
U.S. Army.
Yeah.
And
This was during Vietnam, during the Vietnam era. I was fortunate to be stationed in Italy at the time.
yeah. What part of Italy?
There was an army base right near Pisa, between Pisa and Livorno, by the name of Camp Darby. Yeah.
I was in Pisa with my wife, and she went up that I wouldn't
Leaning
go up.
Tower of
I'm
Pisa.
afraid of height.
In fact, right next to the Leaning Tower of Pisa is a baptistry. My son was born and baptized in the baptistry right next to the Leaning Tower of
What,
Pisa.
he was over there at the time?
Well, he was born there, yes.
Oh yeah.
He was born, yeah. He was a baby. That's where he was born.
So what part of Italy? Your parents?
My grandfather was from Abruzzi,
Abruzzi.
right?
Yeah.
My grandmother was from Napoli.
Oh, Naples,
Yeah.
Campania, right? Yeah. Well, and then so, what was your experience as far as being a lieutenant? What's some interesting thing that you can pass on?
Well, you know, this was peacetime over in Italy. It was pretty much a R&R retreat area for the Northern European troops coming down. So we used to have to prepare the beach and stuff like that so that they would have a nice place for relax and recreation down there.
right.
But we also had a port of embarkation there, and we had a big supply depot there. And myself, I was the post engineer. I used to have to take care of all the buildings and grounds and things of that nature there. But it was a supply depot for Northern Europe. It was the mission of the camp there. During Vietnam, all the higher ranked officers were over in Vietnam. So they sent all these young lieutenants to Italy, for example, all young Italian guys. Fasano, Colucci, D'inverno.
Mudhole.
I can go on and on, right?
All your
young-
paisans.
None of them could speak Italian.
No.
I could say a few curse words in Italian, that's about it.
Why did
Nobody
they
could
chase
speak
you out?
Italian,
Put your hands.
yeah, except for one little Medellin kid. His name was Wally Finch. He was our squadron, he was our interpreter for the base. He was Lieutenant Wally Finch. He was the interpreter.
You know,
his mother was Italian.
I always tell a little story, a little joke. I don't know if people think it's weird, but when I was in the Army, I got a medal. I saved my whole company. I shot the cook. But that's an old joke, all right. But, you know, listen, I'm going to give you 15, 20 seconds. Wrap it up. Tell me about this. What are we going to do?
Well, if you want to know, how to contribute and help us with our financial situation, go to our website, DelCoVeteransMemorial.com.
Good.
And the bricks are available for anybody with the Christmas holidays coming up. It's perfect
Go
opportunity.
visit, too.
And
right.
to come
Get the
out
kids,
and
put it in-
visit.
just like President Truman says, what's new? The history we haven't read. There's history.
We're right off the Blue Route, very convenient. Route 3 as an exit off the Blue Route, easy to come by and visit our memorial.
Hit it.
I'd say that we also did a 9/11 ceremony recently to the monument, and on December 14th, we're going to do a thing with wreaths across America, placing wreaths at the monument.
Now, who contacts you about the veteran dying?
Well, we have a special contact man. All the funeral directors in Delaware County know of it. They call us up, provide the information and the family's request, and then we see if we're available, we will do it.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks a lot for allowing us to come into your home. And this is the great experience for me. I enjoy this, meeting new friends. Well, you're an old friend, but not old, young friend. No,
Okay.
But I think November the 11th, and just stop just for 2 minutes and just stop and say a little prayer, and in your own little way, for veterans and for this country, that we stay with peace. There's nothing like peace and good health. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and may God bless you, each and every one. Here's a little bit of drink. We'll have a little toast here. All right?
Okay.
I don't know why I didn't get one. You
Yeah,
there.
that's
There's one.
Mine there?
Here
Okay,
we
all right.
go.
Let's have a little toast here. And in Italian, say,
To the-
alla salute. And the
Bastante.
salute, it means good to your health.
To
You
the
got your health, baby. You got everything. And for my Hispanic friends, adios amigos. Keep bobbing and weaving. Delaware County
Veterans Memorial.
Veterans Memorial. Thank you.